Welcome to this week's edition of the Ram Roundup, softball edition. We're here with head coach Bridget Orchard. Bridget, you're through 3 weeks of your season. How would you grade your team so far through 3 weeks of play? You guys have played some really stiff competition over those first 3 tournaments.
As expected, I think right now we threw them to the fire early, which was as planned and was as expected. So it wasn't anything that we weren't anticipating, weren't counting on. We wanted to see where our holes were. We found where our holes were, and then over the last weekend we were kind of able to fix some of those holes, and hopefully continuing on throughout the season, we'll continue to keep doing that.
This past weekend, I know we talked about it before you guys left for Orlando, was trying to establish Lauren Quince, who missed a lot of last year, as that number 2 pitcher. What did you see out of her this past weekend as you guys were pretty successful going 4-1 at the Citrus Classic?
Oh, she's been great. I mean, the biggest thing about her is she's gritty. She got a lot of heart, and she changes speeds, and she mixes it up, and she's been hitting her spots very well. She's been really able to keep them off balance and shut down a really strong Syracuse powerful hitting team. I think the better the bats, the better she is.
Bats also woke up against Charlotte a little bit. Got 10 runs across the board. Started hitting a little bit. One of the key factors, Sydney Canessa, the A-10 Player of the Week this week. She's been moving a lot around in the order, not just the top of the lineup, top of the order hitter, moving in that 2 spot, into that 3 spot. What have you seen for her development over these first couple weeks, and now culminating in an A-10 Player of the Week this week?
Well, I think the big thing with her was her pitch selection. I think she was at the leadoff spot, and she was getting awfully anxious. We moved her down to the 3 spot. She settled in there at the 3 spot, and she's been hitting over about 600 in that 3, driving in RBIs. And she's a power hitter, but she's more patient now. She's getting her pitches. She's confident. She's a leader. I mean, she's a junior captain. I think she's just showing her leadership at bat as well as off the field.
You guys head down to Mercer this week before a couple home games here at Bohoshi Field. What are you seeing at that Mercer tournament? You got Boston College, Iowa State, and Mercer in those 3 games.
Our biggest thing is hoping that it keeps clicking, hoping to get better every day. We keep talking about every game we want to try to get better, and we have been getting better as the season's gone on. So we're hoping this game, hopefully this weekend, we can click and really go 5-0.
Well, thanks so much, Bridget, for the time, and best luck this week.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with our interview with outfielder Sydney Canessa. We're here with junior outfielder Sydney Canessa for the Ram Roundup Softball Edition. Sydney named the A-10 Player of the Week, a big weekend for you as the Rams go 4-1. What did you see differently this weekend that it just all came together and clicked?
I think, honestly, as a team, we went in with a lot more confidence. We had a tough first 2 opening weekends, and, we went back to basics, and we just played the game that we knew how to play, and everything worked out with 4 wins and a tough loss against Penn State.
You guys have played a very difficult schedule, a lot of top-tier teams, top 25 schools. I think you've played about 8 or 9 games against top 25 teams. What does that do for this team's makeup as you guys head forward playing against teams like that?
I mean, honestly, in the beginning, it's pretty tough. Confidence goes up and down, but then once we get to the A-10 tournament, like I said before, our confidence is through the roof, and that's what we need going into that tournament. We need to know that we could play with those top 25 teams, so then when we get to the A-10 tournament, we have the confidence, and we could back each other up by looking back into the tough games that we played and know that we're prepared for these games.
For yourself, the last 2 years you've been a leadoff hitter, setting the table for people lower in the lineup. Now you've kind of moved into that 2 spot, 3 spot, 4 spot. What changes have you had to make in the batter's box, changing positions in the batting order?
Honestly, I've just learned a lot from my last 2 years, learned to, trust myself a little bit more and learn to take pitches that I could drive, especially in the 3 spot, a bigger role to have more RBI opportunities, which is key. We're not scoring as many runs as we want to, so hopefully I'll be able to capitalize on when people are on base. So I'm just looking for more pitches that I could drive, put into the outfield, and put into the gaps.
One more weekend before you hit home games here at Bohoshi. You guys have Boston College, Iowa State, and Mercer this weekend. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
We're honestly just looking to keep it rolling. We're coming off of a big win against Charlotte. They were a pretty hot team, and we were battling against them. We were down, then we were up, then we were tied, and then we just pulled through. So we're just looking to keep that momentum going, looking to keep doing the little things right, building off of that. So this weekend, for the following weekend when we come home, we could put on a good show for our fans.
Well, thanks so much for the time, Sydney. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.
That'll do it for this week's edition of the Softball Ram Roundup. The Rams are on the road this weekend down at Mercer College. They have 3 games against Boston College, Iowa State, and Mercer. Make sure to follow updates on the Fordham softball team by reaching them out on Twitter at Fordham Softball, or check the latest website updates on FordhamSports.com. For the Ram Roundup, I'm Scott Kwiatkowski, and we'll see you next week.